What's up, guys? Air Entertainment. I'm starting 10 minutes earlier. Yeah, the stream is supposed to be at 2, but I decided to start earlier. So, yeah, I want to thank you all for joining me yesterday for AEW Watch Along and the Eternals video. Thank you for that. Remember, tomorrow SmackDown Watch Along, and I don't know what I'm doing Saturday or Sunday. I might be whatever, random stuff those days. I am bringing back, to let you know, I am bringing back my sports show. I was going to originally bring it back next Saturday on the 16th, but that's DC Fandom. So I might bring it back next Thursday, just for that Thursday, and just make a video previewing the NBA season. I was planning to do a stream on NBA next week, but I might just, I don't know. I might make a video or plan another live stream for the NBA. Maybe. I don't know. I'll figure out a date for the NBA live stream, or I'll just make a video. But yes. But this is not a wrestling video. This is not a video game video. This is not a pop culture video, like movies, comic books. Yeah, I know we got some Marvel news. I'll just briefly tell you, Agatha Harkness is coming back to the MCU. They just signed, MCU and Disney just signed Catherine Hahn to a multi-picture deal with the MCU, so she'll be back in a TV series and whatever future movie projects. So yeah, Agatha is back. It was Agatha all along. She's back. The witch is back. Also, the Resident Evil trailer just came out. My brief thoughts. I liked it. I really did like it. It felt like the authentic. Feels like the authenticity of the actual Resident Evil video games. It feels. That's what I got from this from this trailer. But yeah, I'm gonna make videos on those maybe later today or maybe over the weekend. I'll talk about the stuff because right now I'm doing a live stream and well, we're gonna be talking about if you're into hockey like I am. I'm Canadian. If you don't figure out by now, Toronto Maple Leaf. I'm Canadian, and I'm a huge Leaf fan, obviously, right? And I'm gonna invite people. I'm a huge hockey fan. In Canada, we like hockey. It's our favorite sport. It's not my favorite sport, but I do like it. And I'm actually invite people on. So I'm gonna get my headset. Let me get my fucking headset. Who else? And we're gonna talk about the NHL season. All right, NHL season, which starts next Tuesday. 2 games next Tuesday. That's when the official day of the NHL starts. My Leafs play next Wednesday against Montreal without Carey Price. Let me just check my phone. Yes, against Montreal Wednesday. If you don't remember, Montreal was the team that did eliminate the Leafs in the playoffs last year, coming back from a 3-1 deficit in the 7-game series. Yes, yep, it did happen. And that's my fault. Okay. But yes, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at the not the standings, but we're gonna look at the divisions. We got a new addition to the Pacific this year, a new team, the Seattle Kraken. So we got 32 NHL teams matching the NFL. You know, the NFL has 32 teams, right? The NFL has 32 teams. Once the Texans came in 2001, I believe. Now we have with NHL with the Seattle Kraken coming in this year. Vegas came in about 4 or 5 years ago. 32 teams in the NHL, and NBA and MLB only has 30 teams. But yeah, so basically, the NHL has caught up to the NFL in terms of teams. Seattle and Vegas, recently in the past 5 years, makes it 32. And we're going to definitely look at the divisions. And I'm going to give you who I think is going to make the playoffs in the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. Now, the way the teams make the playoffs in the NHL. So we got the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. We got 2 divisions per conference, okay? 2 divisions per conference. In the East, we got the Atlantic. You got it right here, the Atlantic and the Metropolitan, right? So you see the metric of the. So on the right, that's the Eastern Division. On the right, that's the Western Division, the Pacific and the Central. And yes, so how this works. The top 3 teams in each division make the playoffs.
Haircut.
Okay, I'm back. So yes, top 3 teams in each division make the playoffs. So this is a projection standings, right? This is projection standings, but this is the best standings, the best divisions I can find. So if you, for example, here, let's look at the East: Tampa Bay, Toronto, and Florida in the Atlantic. Those 3 teams will make the playoffs. The Islanders, Carolina, Washington will make the playoffs. It's based on points. So those 3 teams in each division make the playoffs. Now the final 2 teams for the 7th and 8th seed goes by points. It doesn't matter where you're in divisions. So for example, Boston has 98 points, right? So they would get in as a 7th seed. Pittsburgh has 95 points. They would get an 8th seed. But let's say the Rangers have more points than Boston. Say the Rangers, I know they have 92 here, but say the Rangers have 99. The Rangers would be the 7th seed, and Pittsburgh would still be the 8th seed. So the 7th, 8th seed, it doesn't matter where you finish. It doesn't matter where you finish in your division. Only the top 3 teams in the division, the most points, make the playoffs. The 7th, 8th seed, it doesn't matter where you finish. It doesn't matter where you finish the division. It goes by points. Points. And as you see here, let's go with the divisions here. So in the Atlantic, we got Tampa Bay, defending Stanley Cup champions. You got the Toronto Maple Leafs, Florida Panthers, Boston Bruins, Montreal Canadiens, Ottawa Senators, Detroit Red Wings, and Buffalo Sabres. Now, this standings is the projections here. The guy has Tampa Bay winning the division. I have concurred. I think Tampa Bay will win the division, but I'm going to switch this up a bit. I don't think it's going to be in the division in the Atlantic. It's going to be exactly how it goes. Tampa Bay, I think, is going to be top seed. I do think Boston's going to be 2nd seed. I do think Toronto's going to be 3rd seed. And I do think Florida is going to be 4th seed. So if I had to put it my way, it's going to be Tampa Bay, Boston, Toronto, Florida. So, and then Montreal. And then Montreal. So the bottom 4, I pretty much have the same. Ottawa, Detroit, and Buffalo. Those are going to be the bottom feeders in that division. Definitely Detroit and Buffalo. Ottawa is better than those 2 teams. They're a little feisty. They're an up-and-coming team. They have talent. But Detroit and Buffalo, they're just, especially with Buffalo with their situation. Yeah, those Detroit and Buffalo are definitely going to battle for the worst team in that division, and the worst team in actually NHL, battling out for another first overall pick in the upcoming 2022 draft. So, yeah, this division is pretty much what I have. It's just that the top is a little different. Tampa Bay is the same, but I think I'm going to switch Boston and Toronto. I'm going to put Boston in Toronto spot, and then I'm going to put Boston and Toronto in Florida spot, and Florida and Boston spot. But yeah, so for the first 3 teams, so basically I would have Tampa Bay, Toronto, and Boston making the playoffs from the Atlantic Division, and then we're gonna go over the bottom 2 seeds in the East. So Tampa Bay, Toronto, and Boston making the East division playoffs. And if you want to come on air, come on air. All right, and then we'll go to the Metropolitan. I think this is a better division. This is definitely a better division than the Atlantic Division. It's a stronger division. New Jersey is an up-and-coming team. They might still be the worst, but I think they're a proving team. But it's harder for me to see this. Like, this is a hard division to dissect because they're much better teams in the Metropolitan than the Atlantic. I mean, I think Tampa Bay is the best team overall in the NHL, but I still think Metropolitan is a stronger division than the Atlantic. Okay, so I mean, I don't know here. So like, I could go. I do think the Islanders will make it. I do think Carolina will make it. Now Washington. Now here's the thing: from Washington to Columbus down, that's the question mark. Now, because I can see all those teams possibly make it in the playoffs, and I'm talking, and I only see a few teams possibly being the third seed. But I definitely see New York and Carolina as probably top 2 seeds. But Washington, Pittsburgh, New York, Philly. I don't know about New Jersey or I don't know about Columbus. But I definitely see from Pittsburgh to Philly battling out for a 3rd seed and battling for the 8th seed. I possibly could see New Jersey fighting out for the 8th seed and even Columbus. But let's go over this. Okay, New York and Carolina. I got them making the playoffs. I can see Carolina being first. I can see New York the Islanders being first. That's easy. Washington, I definitely can see them winning the 3rd seed. Maybe Pittsburgh and maybe the Rangers. I do think the Rangers are upcoming, and I definitely do see the Phillies, the Flyers. So this is hard. Okay. New York and Carolina, Islanders. The Islanders, they're definitely in. So in. I think I'm going to go with Washington to be the 3rd seed. But I do think Philly, New York, and Pittsburgh are going to give them a tough battle for the 3rd seed. All right, so my first 6 teams in the playoffs, I would have. So my first 6 teams in the Eastern playoffs, Eastern Conference seeding for the playoffs, is Tampa Bay. Boston, Toronto, one from the Atlantic, and in the Metropolitan, I got New York Islanders, Carolina, Washington. So those are my 6 teams. And now for the final 8 teams, 2 teams, and for the making up 7th and 8th seed, I definitely got Florida in the picture. I think Florida is a very good team. I think depending on what's happening in Montreal, I think Montreal could fight for the 7th and 8th speed. But Montreal has there's stuff going on with Montreal right now. And I think Ottawa, maybe. Detroit, Buffalo, no, do not battle for a 7th, 8th seed. Let's go to the Metropolitan, who I can think of battle for the 7th, 8th seed. Definitely Pittsburgh. I do see Pittsburgh battling for that spot. 7th, 8th seed. And I do think the Rangers will. I do think the Flyers. I do think New Jersey may have a chance because they're a more improved team. And I think Columbus. I think all the teams in the Metropolitan that are not the ones I haven't said are going to make the playoffs. So I said Islanders, New York Islanders, Carolina Hurricanes, and Washington. I said they're going to make the playoffs. But I think from Pittsburgh and Columbus, I think they all have a chance to battle for 7th, 8th seed. Where in the Atlantic, I only think pretty much Florida, Montreal, even Toronto and Boston. They all have a chance to battle for 8th seed. I think so. I think there's only six teams in the Atlantic Division can battle for playoff spots. Where I think in the Metropolitan, all the teams could battle for a playoff spot. And yes, I'm putting New Jersey on there. And I know you don't see me because I have to dissect this fucking Yes, this is a projection. This is not my projection. I do think Tampa Bay's got the most points in the NHL and win the President's Trophy. The President's Trophy, you don't know, my American friends, if you're not into hockey, President's Trophy is rewarded to the team with the most points. That's how you get into the playoffs, by having the most points. And yeah. But let's go to the West. And the Western Conference consists of the Pacific Division and the Central Division. Now, the Western Division, especially the Central Division, is a lot like the Metropolitan Division. I think it's a lot harder to dissect who make the playoffs. Now, Arizona, the team they have here, having 64 points. Yeah, take Arizona out of it. They're kind of tanking. They're tanking. They plan to tank. So Arizona, they'll be battling with Buffalo and Detroit for a top draft pick in next year's draft. Clearly, that's their intention, and they have all. So yeah, let's go to the Central. You got Colorado. Right? I do think Colorado's going to make it. I think Winnipeg will make it. And then we got and I think between Minnesota, St. Louis, Dallas, Chicago, Nashville, there's a real battle there between third spot. Remember, the top three teams in each division makes the playoffs, and the other teams get the battle for 7th, 8th speed. So I do think Colorado's going to make it. I do think Winnipeg's going to make it. Winnipeg's a good team. Minnesota, I think Minnesota, St. Louis, and Dallas and Chicago will battle out for the 3rd seed in the Central and 7th, 8th spot seed in the Western Conference. So I'm gonna keep Minnesota here, right? Okay. So basically here, this projection, I got the top. I'm keeping the 3 teams here at the top, making it in the playoffs from the Central Division. And let's go to the Pacific. Now, the Pacific, it might be the hardest division because there's or one of the weakest divisions. They say it might be one of the weakest divisions in the NHL. Yes, Atlantic has 2 of the probably the worst teams, but Pacific has some bad teams here too. Now, Golden Knights, yeah, I'm gonna keep them number 1. I think the Golden Knights are gonna be first in the Pacific. Edmonton, I could definitely see him being a second. Now between Calgary and Vancouver. I do think Calgary has a talent to be third, and I do think Vancouver has a talent to be third. So I'm gonna go with instead of Calgary, I'm gonna go with Vancouver. I do like the Oliver Larson trade and Colin Garland, so I'm gonna go with Vancouver. And this time they just re-signed restricted free agent Quinn Hughes and Elias Peterson. I'm gonna go with Vancouver. I think Vancouver is better than Calgary. And I think Calgary, yeah, okay. So I got Vegas, Edmonton, Calgary, and Vancouver as my top 3 teams in the Pacific. So for my Western teams, I got the first 6 teams. I got Colorado, Winnipeg, Minnesota, Vegas, Golden Knights, Edmonton Oilers, and Vancouver. Now the battle out for the 7th, 8th seed in the Western Conference. I got Calgary. I think Calgary will battle out for the 7th, 8th seed. I think LA will give it. I think LA the Kings will. Not San Jose. I don't think San Jose will. I don't think Anaheim will. I don't know about Seattle. I can't really say. I think there's some good players, but I don't know. From the Central, I do think St. Louis, Dallas, and Chicago will battle out for 7th, 8th seed of the Western Conference with Calgary, LA, and possibly Seattle. But yeah, those are my Western Eastern Conference projections. I do so. This might end up being a short live stream, but that's all right. That's all right. I don't mind short. wanting short live streams. But yeah. So I'm gonna go over my conferences again, playoffs. I got Toronto, Boston, and Toronto. So Tampa Bay, Toronto, and Boston making the playoffs. New York, Carolina, Washington making the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. And I do have Florida, and I do have Pittsburgh. Okay, so my 8 teams in the Eastern Conference is Tampa Bay, Toronto, Florida, and Boston. Metropolitan, that's from the Atlantic, and the other 8 are New York Islanders, Carolina Hurricanes, Washington Capitals, and Pittsburgh Penguins. Now, there's a good chance the Rangers can make it and the Flyers can make it. And the rest, I got Colorado, Winnipeg, and Minnesota making it. Vegas, Edmonton, and Vancouver making it. And I do have Calgary making it. And I do have St. Louis making it. Yeah, I'm back again, guys. I'm back again. But yeah. So let's go with So let's talk about some stuff in the NHL season. I think Austin Matthews, the center for the Toronto Maple Leafs, is going to hit 50 goals for the first time this season. He was on pace to hit that the year when the pandemic hit, when it hit back in 2020. He was on pace to get 50 goals. I think he'll win the Walker Richard Trophy, the Maurice Walker Richard. That trophy goes to the hockey player who scores the most goals in the season. I also think Connor McDavid will set a new career high in points. I do think he's definitely gonna get over 100 points. Like that's no brainer. But I think it's gonna be between 130 and 150. I think Connor McDavid's gonna get between 130 and 150 points. I don't know. That's what I think is gonna happen. He was like in the 56 game season, he got like 100 points in like 56 games. That's pretty damn impressive, man. I know they got swept in the playoffs, but that's still pretty damn good. They have Zach Hyman there, good hard worker, former Leaf is loved here. Nothing bad to say about the guy, but he's such a good hard worker. Not the most talented guy, but he'll fight for you, he'll battle for you, he'll get you pucks. He's just a hard-working, all-around great guy in the community and stuff. But yeah, Norris Trophy. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Quinn Hughes, Kamakar. I don't know. With Buffalo, I don't know what's happening with Jack Eichel. It looks like they're looking to trade him. There's a lot of things with Jack Eichel going on. About his back, the team doctors or his doctors, they're not. The Sabres have been in a mess. I mean, the Pegulas own the Sabres and the Bills. They got what's going on with the Bills is, I mean, they got their head on straight on with the Bills, but with the Sabres, they have no clue what they're doing, especially with their best player, Eichel. He's a generational talent, and they're gonna probably trade it. I mean, they're not gonna get a lot of value from him because he's possibly not gonna be playing for this year because of his back or whatever. And they're gonna have to trade him because I think there's no trade clause or something like that, or no movement kicks in sometime next year. And this is in between between now and then they may have to get rid of him because he only gets accepted certain teams and no trade clause that he wants to go to. I don't know. I actually do think my Leafs. My Leafs. We lost Zach Hyman. We lost Zach Bogosian. I'm a little worried about the defense. It's much younger with Rasmus Sandin and Travis Dermott, Timothy Lindgren. I think Sandin could be a good quarterback, two-way defenseman. I gotta see more from Lindgren. I know he's very talented. It's Michael Bunting guy. I think is his name. They signed from Arizona. He looks really good in the preseason. He goes in front of the net. He's gritty. I like that. I think Nick Ritchie. I think Nick Ritchie. If I think Nick Ritchie could be a huge asset if he doesn't get into penalty trouble. He's a big body, and I think him playing on the top six lines with Matthews, Tavares, Nylander, Marner, whatever, will really benefit him. I do think he could. I do think he could score 20 goals. I'm saying Nick Ritchie. I'm betting my life. I'm not betting my life on it, but I'm betting you. And Nick Ritchie will score 20 goals this season as a Toronto Maple Leaf. Because I know he hasn't lived up to the potential as a ninth overall pick. He was drafted after Nylander in the 2014 draft, but I do think he can score 20 goals. I'm not asking him to score 30 goals. I do think he can get 20 to 25 goals. I do think he could do it with this offense. I do think Dougie Hamilton in New Jersey is a good move. It does make him a little better, but I don't know how much better in New Jersey. I think Jack Hughes has to take a next step in his development. I think the Vancouver, I think got better with Lars Ekman Larson and Connor Garland. They got back Hughes and Peterson. They re-signed them because they were restricted free agents, RFAs. Ottawa and Brady, is it Brady? Oh yeah, Brady Kachuk. Seems like they're in an impasse on of signing an RFA. He's an RFA, and it seems like he wants a short-term deal and they want a long-term deal, and they seem like they're at an impasse on that. So it looks like it may not start the season when the season starts. So he may go into the season. He may go into the season without a contract, like Nylander. When Nylander 2 or 3 years ago didn't sign with the Leafs when he was an RFA, a restricted free agent, till December. And when he came back, he really wasn't good. He really struggled as when he came back from the Leafs, came back to the Leafs, and scored like 7 goals and like 20 points or something. He really struggled. And the year after, he got like 30 goals. And yeah, so I think it's a bad idea not to get signed, not to sign. And once you sign, you could tell that you're not as ready. You're not ready. You're not as ready once you because you can't really train at their facility, stuff like that. You can't train with the team. You can't train the team facilities because technically you're still the property, but you're technically still not under contract with them. You're a restricted free agent. Another team is allowed to sign you to an offer sheet, and but the team that owns you could signs you could match that offer, obviously. But looks like nobody's gonna offer. Looks like nobody's offering Brady Kachuk an offer sheet because they would have done it by now, and they would have done it before, right? And yeah, you could trade on your own, Nick, obviously, but you can't really train with the team if you're not under contract. Your property is owned, but if you're not under contract, you can't train with the team, the facilities, the gym, whatever team practice. You can't really train with. So how long is this stream? I know it's gonna be one of my shorter streams. I could have just made a video, but if people wanted to come on, they're allowed to come on. Um, what else is there? Oh yeah, we're gonna have in February. In February, we're gonna have a NHL season break because the Winter Olympics, will be playing in Beijing, and after in 2018, when we were in Russia, the NHL players and NHL didn't go to the 2018 Winter Olympics in Russia. So, but this time now they came to agreement that the NHL players could go to Russia to represent their teams, like Team Canada will have their NHL players, USA, etc., etc. You know what I'm talking about. So we're gonna have a break in February. They're gonna finish this basically February 4th, and then have the 2 weeks Olympics thing going on in Beijing, and then the end of February we're gonna start up the season again. Pretty much the second half, I guess you could call it, and the season does end late this year. The season does not end in early April this year. It ends in late April. So the NBA season will end, if you're into basketball, NBA season will end before the NHL season. NHL season is going to end late April this year. So the playoffs are going to start late April, or depending how late. I think it's very late April. So most likely the NHL playoffs will start in early May. But yes, the NHL season. I'll check the last date. I'll check the last date for the NHL season. I'll check for my Leafs, guys. So my Toronto Maple Leafs last season game is April 29th. So the 29th of April is the last game for my Leafs. So it could be. So it looks like early May is when the NHL playoffs will start. And if you want to know the NHL playoffs, it's basically the same as basketball, best out of 7, 4 rounds, best out of 7. And the format is basically the same NBA. The top seed gets 2 home games first, and then the other team gets 2 away games. Then the lower seed gets 2 away games. And then it goes 1-1. It goes 2-2, 1-1-1. The higher seed always gets game 7, obviously. So the higher seed gets game 1, 2, 5, and 7. Same in the NBA. It's basically the same in the NBA and baseball. And that's what I like. It coincides with the NBA season. That's what I like about NHL. And baseball season. Yeah, baseball's my favorite sport. For the Leafs. I think there will be teams. that will get 100-point seasons. I think Tampa Bay is one of them. I think the Vegas Golden Knights is one of them. I do think Colorado could be one of them. I don't think Toronto is. I think Toronto's going to be a 95, 96-point team, which should still be good enough for the playoffs. Out of the Canadian teams who I think is going to make the playoffs. So if you're American, there's 7 Canadian teams. Obviously, hockey is our sport, but there's 7 Canadian teams. Toronto Maple Leafs, Montreal Canadiens, Ottawa Senators. Those are teams on the East Coast. Going west, we got Winnipeg Jets, Calgary Flames, Edmonton Oilers, and Vancouver Canucks. Out of those teams I think can make the playoffs, I got 4. 4 that making the playoffs. Toronto, Winnipeg, Calgary, and Vancouver. Edmonton. 5. I got 5. My mistake. I got 5. Toronto, Winnipeg, Calgary, Edmonton, and Vancouver. I do not have Montreal and Ottawa, but I do have Montreal battling out for a playoff spot. I don't have them making it, but I do have them battling out. And I do have Ottawa potentially battling out for a playoff spot. They're not they're not gonna be a good team. They're not gonna be a great team, but they're gonna be a feisty team. They're an up and coming team. So I think Ottawa. There's a chance. There's a chance with Ottawa. I'm just saying. Don't underestimate Ottawa. Let's see what else. Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, it's a half an hour stream. I was thinking I was only doing a half an hour stream. Oh, something like that. I know I said to start at 2 o'clock, but I decided to start like about 15 to 10 minutes earlier because I had nothing else to do. But I am going to update with you guys once again. So there are some news coming out today, which I do plan to make a video on. I kind of mentioned it. DC fandoms news. Batman trailer. We're gonna get the second Batman trailer. I don't on DC fandom. I'm not gonna make a video. Oh, we're gonna make a video saying we're gonna get the Batman trailer. Whoopie doo. I want to see the trailer first. Also, we got the Agatha Harkness. Catherine Hahn has signed a multi-year deal with Disney and MCU to have her character Agatha Harkness and more MCU projects. We kind of suspected Agatha Harkness will be back, but this is official now. We got the Resident Evil trailer from Sony, and we're gonna go over that too, guys. But not on this video. Not on this video, of course. But yeah, and maybe I'll make a video on something now. I don't know. Be on the lookout, guys. Also, so tomorrow I got a SmackDown Live watch along from 8 to 10. Or I start 7:50, so 8 to 10, whatever. And I will be in Saturday. I have nothing planned for Saturday or Sunday, but you know what? You never know. Saturday I might have a random stream come up, upload some videos, stream some video games. I am thinking of making a separate channel just for video game clips, highlight if when I stream video games or if I'm just recording video games on my PlayStation 5 or Xbox, and I feel something I want to feel something that I want people to see, I'll upload it to that channel. But yeah, and I'm bringing back my sports show. I think I'm gonna bring it back next Thursday. I was originally gonna bring it back next Saturday, but DC Fandom's next Saturday, so I'm gonna bring it back next Thursday. But after DC Fandom, the Saturday after, the sports show will come back on the Saturday after, the 23rd of October. Okay. But yeah, and I do plan to do live streams. I do plan to do live streams on Thursdays now. Not about wrestling, but stuff like this, sports, wrestling. If you want to bring up wrestling in whatever, sports, pop culture, anything really. I have a topic to talk about, but yeah, it's not gonna be wrestling specific or anything like that. Cause yeah, you know me as a wrestling guy, but if you really pay attention, to my channel, I just don't do wrestling. I've been doing a lot of pop culture stuff and video game stuff and movie stuff. And early on, when I really got this channel going, I was doing sports stuff, and I want to bring that back too. I like to be all around, a jack of all trades. Right? I like a lot of stuff. What can I say? But yeah, so I'll see you tomorrow. I may upload a video. I don't know. Maybe I'll upload a video about Agatha Harkness. I don't know. Or maybe I'll talk about the DC stuff when whatever. And yeah, and SmackDown watch along. I'm gonna set it up tonight. The SmackDown watch along for tomorrow. I have the title already. If you're a wrestling fan and you're watching this, SmackDown tomorrow is debuting King of the Ring and the Queen's Crown, and that'll be my title for tomorrow. But yeah, so I'll end the stream right here, guys. I'll end the stream right here. So, this is what I think of it, you guys, for listening and all my other content.
Too sweet! Sweet! Too sweet! Too sweet!
Well, that's what I think of it, you guys. You guys are too sweet for listening, watching my content, commenting on the chat, whatever. See me on other streams. And with that, like, share, subscribe, comment below. AWO, the Aaron Warrior is out.